It's the 8th race weekend of the FIA Formula 3 European Championship at the Nürburgring. The current lap record is held by Felix Rosenqvist from 2015. That probably won't be troubled today by our championship leader Lando Norris, who is the pole sitter for race 1. 22nd race of the season and the 8th pole position for Lando Norris. And at the start of race 1, he defends the lead against the slight attack of Jake Hughes. Maximilian Günther starts from P5 and gains 2 positions. However, at the first turn of lap 3 in the battle for P4, the guest starter Sasha Fenestra drives into Nikita Mazepin. The Russian slides off the track through the gravel and inevitably would have to retire. The championship second place man at the moment, Maximilian Günther, is overtaken Kay van Andres in his quest to try and get into the points. This is for P13. Günther would fall back to P16 in the chaotic first laps. The fight for P3, though, 2 laps before the end of the race, is between Joey Mawson having to defend against Callum Ilott and Tadazuke Makino, who is right behind, is able to take advantage of that battle and would eventually seize P4 from Callum Ilott as they made their way into the start-finish straight at the Nürburgring, where Lando Norris will win the race after 20 laps ahead of Jake Hughes and the rookie Joey Mawson, who scores his best race result of the season. With the confirmation of the result on screen, Lando Norris treads the now rather familiar path to the top step of the podium once again. The weather conditions at the Nürburgring for race 2 on Sunday, somewhat better than race day 1, and Jake Hughes is the pole sitter, and it's his second pole position of the season as the spectators look on. The start was only delayed by a couple of minutes. Jake Hughes stays in front. The field goes through turn 1 without any problems at all. Joel Eriksson would overtake Pedro Piquet to claim P9, and right at the end of the race, despite Lando Norris getting ever closer, Jake Hughes would claim his first win of the season. Ahead of Lando Norris, and Callum Ilott would bank P3, so a podium place for him. The rest of the result on screen for you, as Jake Hughes was certainly on the receiving end of celebrations from the high-tech GP team. The weather conditions remained stable for race 3, which was Sunday afternoon, although there was some heavy cloud around. Callum Ilott for Prema Power Team, the pole sitter, and there the team watch on, and the team principal, Rennie Rossen, celebrated his birthday. Callum Ilott keeps the lead of the race, followed by Lando Norris in hot pursuit. Ferdinand Habsburg, starting from P6, crashes into Guan Yu Zhu, who was in P5. Both of them would have to retire, and the safety car would be deployed. There, once again, you can see Habsburg in the blue car, just making contact with Guan Yu Zhu. Their race is over. It was a question of when, not if, Lando Norris would find his way past Callum Ilott for the race lead. It was in lap 3, and just 1 lap later on, both Jake Hughes and Ralph Aron would overtake Callum Ilott to take up the P2 and P3 positions. David Beckman and Joey Mawson would crash 3 laps before the end of the race, and significant damage to the Van Amersfoort car of Joey Mawson, who of course was on the podium earlier in the race weekend. At the end of the race then, it would be Lando Norris who would take his 9th race win of the season ahead of Jake Hughes and Ralph Aron, which would cause much celebration for the Carlin Motorsport team in the pit lane. So this puts Lando Norris into a very commanding position with regards to the Drivers' Championship over Maximilian Günther, as the cars and drivers now head off to the Red Bull Ring for the next round of the FIA Formula 3 European Championship on the 23rd and 24th of September.